They let your kid come home, then set them up to go back. Juvenile probation traps. The day your child walks out of that facility, you are not ready for how it feels. You have been counting down. You have been praying. You have been holding it together in front of everybody and falling apart in private. You cleaned their room. You washed their sheets. You cooked their favorite meal, the one they asked for in every phone call, every visit, every letter. And when that door finally opens and you see their face, you forget every hard night. You forget every moment you sat up wondering if they were okay in there. You just hold them. And for one moment, one real moment, you let yourself believe the worst is behind you. Your baby is home. But here's what nobody told you standing in that parking lot. Nobody pulled you aside. Nobody sat you down. Nobody handed you a paper that explained what was actually about to happen to your family. Your child didn't just come home. Your child came home on a leash, and that leash is called probation. And the conditions attached to that leash, the rules, the check-ins, the fees, the restrictions are so many and so strict and so impossible for most families to manage that the system doesn't even have to try to bring your child back. It just waits, because one slip, any slip, for any reason, and your child is gone again. This is happening to families all across this country right now. Good families, loving families, families who did everything right. I need you to understand what you are actually walking into, because the system is counting on you not knowing. Section: What juvenile probation actually is. Everybody thinks probation means freedom. It doesn't. Probation is supervised release. It means your child is still under the authority of the court, still answerable to the state, still legally not fully free. The only difference between probation and a facility is that your child gets to sleep in their own bed. For now. Over 700,000 young people in this country are on juvenile probation every single year, according to federal data. 700,000 families thinking the system is done with their child. It is not done. Some kids are on probation from 13 years old until the day they turn 18. 5 years. 5 years of conditions, 5 years of check-ins, 5 years of somebody else holding the power to take your child away from you for something as small as staying outside 5 minutes past curfew. And here's the part that will keep you up at night. The person who decides whether your child is complying with those conditions, whether they are doing well enough to stay home or not, is one single individual, their probation officer. Not a judge, not a panel, not a review board. One person with a clipboard and almost no oversight on their decisions. We'll come back to that. Section: The conditions. I want you to picture your child's first week home. They slept in their own bed for the first time in months. They ate your cooking. They laughed at something on TV. And then Monday morning comes and reality comes with it, because your child wakes up and they already have a list. Be home by 9 o'clock every night, not 9:01, 9. If you are on the porch at 9:05, that is a violation. Go to school every single day. Maintain passing grades. Don't shut down. Don't have one bad week where the trauma from what you just went through finally catches up with you, because that is a violation too. Show up to the probation office on the schedule they give you. It doesn't matter if you're sick. It doesn't matter if something happened.
Miss that appointment. Violation. Don't hang out with Marcus. Don't hang out with Dre. Don't be seen with your cousin who also caught a case. The court decided those relationships are a threat. Doesn't matter that Marcus was your best friend since 2nd grade. Doesn't matter that Dre lives 3 houses down. Seen with the wrong person, violation. Some kids have to wear an ankle monitor. The monitor tracks everywhere they go, every location, every hour, and that monitor needs to be charged. If the battery dies and the signal goes out, violation. And you can be called in for a random drug test at any time, any day, any hour. Positive result, violation. In some cases, even secondhand exposure is enough to trigger it. And then there are the fees. In many states, families are required to pay probation supervision fees every month. $20, $50, sometimes $100 every month for years. And this is all running at the same time.
curfew and school and check-ins and drug tests and community service hours and no contact orders and fees and the ankle monitor. All of it simultaneously every single day. Your child just spent months locked up. They are carrying trauma they don't even have words for yet. They are trying to figure out who they are and where they fit. They are 17 years old, and the system handed them all of this and said, "Don't mess up." I want you to meet a mother. She works the night shift at a hospital 6 nights a week. She leaves the house at 10. She gets home just after 7 in the morning. She is exhausted. She's doing everything she can for her family. Her son's curfew is 9 o'clock at night. She is never home when curfew hits. One night, he steps outside for 10 minutes. A neighbor sees him. The neighbor mentions it. The probation officer puts it in the file. Violation. She didn't fail him. He didn't fail her. But the system acts like somebody did. Or think about this family. No car. The probation office is across town. The bus route takes 45 minutes and requires 2 transfers. Her son leaves school early twice a week to make it in time. One afternoon, the first bus runs late. He misses the connection. He calls the probation office. Nobody answers. He gets there 40 minutes past his appointment time. Violation. Or this one. Her son grew up with his cousin. Same block, same school, same grandmother. The court put a no contact order on the cousin because of his record. One Sunday, the whole family is at grandma's house. Her son is there. His cousin walks through the door. He doesn't leave because it's his grandmother's house, because nobody told him he was supposed to walk out on his own family. Violation. This is not bad parenting. This is not kids who don't care. This is a system that was designed around a family that has a car, flexible work hours, money for fees, a home in a safe neighborhood, and a child who came back from that facility without a single scar. And then that same system was applied, unchanged, to families that have none of those things. Researchers, the NEE Casey Foundation, advocates across the country have documented this over and over again. But you don't need a study to believe it. You already know, because you are living it, or you know someone who is. And when the fees pile up, and they will pile up, and you are already choosing between the light bill and groceries, that $20 a month feels like the system reaching into your pocket just to remind you it still has a tan there. Miss the payment, get reported, get a violation, go back. They release your child under conditions built for failure, and then call it your child's fault when they fail. That is not an accident. That is a design. I need you to sit with this next number. The majority of young people who get sent back to juvenile facilities after release go back not because they committed a new crime. They go back because of a technical probation violation. Not a robbery, not an assault, not a new charge. A curfew, a missed meeting, a failed drug test, a bus that ran late. Research from the Juvenile Law Center confirms it. This pattern shows up city after city, state after state. Think about what that means. Your child was released, they were home, they were trying, and they got sent back not because they hurt anyone, but because the conditions the system gave them were impossible to keep perfectly. And the system used that imperfection as a reason to take them away from you again. And every time they go back, the research is clear. They come out with more trauma, more disconnection from school, more distance from the family that loves them, more anger at a world that keeps treating them like they are nothing. The system is not fixing these kids. It is breaking them, slowly, quietly, over and over again. And the private detention companies we talked about in our last video, the ones making hundreds of dollars per bed per day, they get paid every single time your child comes back through those doors. Connect those dots. I want you to understand something about the person who holds your child's fate right now. Your child's probation officer can pick up the phone today and file a violation report. They do not need a new crime to do it. They do not need a judge's permission. They file the report and your child is looking at a hearing that could take them away from you. Some probation officers are good people, real ones. People who got into this work because they genuinely wanted to help young people get through the system and come out the other side okay. But even the good ones are stretched thin. The average probation officer in this country carries a caseload of 50, 60, sometimes 70 kids at a time. Your child is not getting personalized attention. They are a name on a list, a file number, a box that needs to be checked. And if your child walks into that office on a bad day, tired, frustrated, still carrying everything from what they went through in that facility, and they come off as disrespectful or difficult or like they have an attitude, that officer has the power to act on that feeling. There is almost no accountability for the day-to-day decisions a probation officer makes, which means the relationship your child builds with that officer is one of the most important relationships in their life right now. More important than it should be, more important than it is fair for it to be. But that is the reality. Your child needs to show up on time, every time. They need to be respectful, even when they don't feel like it, even when the system has given them every reason not to be. They need to answer questions honestly and completely. And you, as the parent, need to know that officer's name. You need their phone number saved. You need to be reachable when they call, because a parent who is present and engaged sends a message to that officer. This family is paying attention. That message matters. Section: What families must do. I am not going to leave you in all of that without giving you something real to hold on to, because there are things you can do right now, today. Number 1, get every single probation condition in writing, not a summary, the full document. Read every line out loud with your child. Make sure they understand every single one before they walk out that door into their first week home. Ask questions before it becomes a violation, not after. Number 2, make a calendar. Every check-in date, every court appearance, every deadline for community service hours, every drug test window they give you. Put it somewhere visible. Treat these dates like they are the most important appointments your family has, because right now they are. Number 3, document everything. Your child gets sick and misses school, get a doctor's note that same day. A bus runs late, make your child call the probation office before the missed appointment, not after. If your child has any encounter with police, even a stop that ends with nothing, you report it to the probation officer yourself before they find out another way. Get ahead of it every time. Number 4, get a juvenile defense attorney involved right now, not when there's a violation, right now. Most families wait until something goes wrong. By then, the violation is already on record and the damage is done. An attorney can review those conditions before your child has a single check-in. They can flag anything unrealistic. They can push for modifications. That is what they are there for. Number 5, if the fees are a problem, say so. In many states, there are hardship waivers for families who cannot afford probation fees. These exist. They are not advertised, but they exist. Ask about them. Get any agreement in writing. Do not just skip the payment and hope nobody notices. That is how a $20 bill turns into a path back to a cell. Number 6, stay in your child's corner every single day. Not to watch them, not to interrogate them, to love them, to check in, to remind them that somebody in this world is on their side inside this process, not just standing over them waiting for them to slip. Because that child came home carrying more than you know. They are not going to tell you everything. They may not even have the words for it yet, but they know whether you are in their corner. Make sure they know. Closing. At JJ Decoded, this is the work. We find the things the system is counting on you never knowing, and we put them in your hands. They built probation to look like a second chance, and for some families it is. But for too many families, the ones with the least resources, the least support, the least margin for error, it is a trap with a welcome home banner hung over the door. Now you see it. Share this video right now with every family you know who has a child coming home or already on probation. Text it, post it, put it in your group chat, because somewhere tonight there is a parent holding a stack of papers they don't understand, a list of conditions their child has to meet, and they are terrified and alone and they don't know where to start. Send this to them. They built this system counting on our silence. We end that today. Subscribe to JJ Decoded, new videos every week. Drop your questions in the comments. What do you want us to decode next?